Hello, everybody. Looks like I got Gladys, Susan. Well, Gladys and Susan. So far, that's all I got in here.
My outdoor patio is in need of
Whoops.
a refresh,
I
so I
knew
might
I'd
just
forget
start
something.
a
I didn't
quality
turn my
break.
sound off. Let me go back and do that. Now, I got 7 watching. I only got two in chat, but that's okay. We welcome all silent viewers. I no sooner said that and we lost a few. No, now we got 8. Okay. Y'all don't forget to hit the thumbs up. Oh, I tell you, I got a scare this afternoon. I don't know, Gladys, if you and Susan, either one, watched that short video that I posted of our hailstorm that passed through. I got telephone calls from the emergency system telling me that there was a severe thunderstorm warning with hail, high winds, and tornadoes. And the wind did get up pretty bad when that hail was falling. That's one reason I came in the house. It was blowing the hail under the patio, and it wasn't much hail, but the size of the hail, if it hit you, it would hurt really bad. Because some of it, the biggest was like the size of a chicken egg, and then the other was the size of one of those great big marbles. Not the little bitty marbles, but the big ones, about as big around as a 50-cent piece, I guess. And then as soon as that hail passed, we got really heavy rain. It got dead calm, but it was just pouring down rain. And I'm glad it went on through because so far we've not got any tornadoes. About an hour ago, we got another tornado warning. But so far, it's real calm here right now. It's not raining. Nothing's going on. So knock on wood for that. And there is Stephanie. Well, you're welcome. It wasn't much because, I'm not a rich person. So, but like I told everybody, even a dollar or two is going to help. And there's Joanne. We got Joanne, Stephanie, Gladys, Susan. Well, our little audience is growing. Yeah, I guess y'all figured, but I said I wanted you to hear that hail hitting the roof. I mean, every time it hit, it went bing, bing, bing. And I could tell by the sound of it hitting, it was some big stuff. And you didn't want to be out in the yard uncovered and have one of those hit your head. And I know all the people around me, if they did not have a garage or a carport with their car under it, they got some dings on their car, believe you me. That's the reason I got my carport. Because years ago, I bought a brand new car. The first summer I had it, it got beat up right in my driveway with hail. $2,300 in damage. And I said after that, I said, I'm putting a carport up if I can ever afford it. I said, it'll have to be big enough to destroy that carport before it ever hits my car. Because, every time you put a claim on your insurance company, your insurance goes up. Can't afford it. The man gave us a really good deal on a headstone. He cut the price in half, so we only have to pay nine. Well, you got four nines. I don't know if that's 900, 9,000, or 99. You need to put a comma in there somewhere. Busted your windshield. Oh my goodness. Well, I know my neighbor across the street in the new house, they don't have a carport up, so her car is parked right in the driveway. And I know if some of that big hail, which it had to have hit that car, there's a dent in it. I mean, it was hitting the ground, and a lot of it was bouncing back up about 3 feet. And there's Sheila McDaniel. Hello. 500. Okay. I fixed my cup of coffee so I wouldn't get sleepy. I had to retouch up my hair today. And I've been lazy most of the day. I did go out and put a couple of lettuce seed in my little planter. I put, I put out some blue basil seed that was sent to me. I think that was it Sheila Edwards? Not sure. I hate to get names wrong. But we were in a chat one day, and she had mentioned that she planted some blue basil, I think it was. Sheila Edwards, yeah. No, purple, not blue. What am I thinking of blue? Purple basil. So she sent me a package of purple basil seed. So I used one of those tiers on that planter for some purple basil. And I've got 4 o'clock seed, because the first I planted has never come up. So I said, well, I'm going to try something different this time. This is where you take a paper towel or double paper towel and you plant your seed. Oops, they're going to roll. But anyway, let me see. I can pick this up. You lay your seed in your wet paper towel, and then you cover them. And you put them inside a plastic bag like I did. And leave them for at least overnight. And that helps the seed germinate. So I said, well, I'm going to try that before I put them in the planter. And hopefully my seeds will germinate this time. Because those seeds for 4 o'clocks are really hard. And they have to stay in some pretty damp soil for quite a while before they will germinate and come up. And I'm still having that problem. Something is eating my little plants. You know, I had planted a whole row of Ponderosa Pink tomatoes. The whole row came up in that little tray planter. And now I saw at one end, there's a couple of them that look like they've been eaten on and stuff. And I spray them every once in a while because I don't want gnats around them or anything. But something is in the soil that has been eating my plants. And I don't know what it is. Because like I said, I keep spraying for the insects to stay away from them. And I said, on the other end of the little tray, they look great. Put a cough drop in my mouth so I don't cough. Are you asking me what kind of seeds, Susan? Sheila Edwards sent me some purple basil seeds because I told her I had never planted any. So she sent me a package of it. And the ones I put in the little baggie wrapped in a wet paper towel is 4 o'clock seeds. It's the 4 o'clocks. They call it split 4 o'clock seeds. And they're pretty good size, as you could see. You could really see them on that paper towel. But they're really hard, too. What 4 o'clock? They're called split 4 o'clock seeds. Oh, my goodness. Let me see if I can find them. She's saying, what 4 o'clock? 4 o'clock seeds, y'all. See right there? If you can read it, let me lower that a little bit. Broken 4 o'clock seed. It's mixed colors. But my grandmother used to have some, and I always thought they were so pretty. So I got me some to plant. So I'll have to get the 4 o'clocks maybe out tomorrow. And I'm going to have to fix another place to put them because I don't have a spot out there fixed. I don't think that I can put 4 o'clock seeds. Because I took up that space with something else. Or maybe I didn't. I don't know. I'll check tomorrow. But the 4 o'clocks, you know, I think they close up at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And then they don't open till the next morning. And then they stay open all day. Yeah, 4 o'clocks are really pretty. Susan said, I've never heard of that. You've never heard of 4 o'clock seeds? Yeah, you know, like the moonflowers will close about noon when the sun gets really hot. And then they don't open till the next day. They stay open all night. But 4 o'clocks, they'll close up about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And then they don't open again till the next day. My grandmother used to have a big bush right in her, just right off the driveway in the front yard. And I thought that was so pretty. Oh, Shatika's here. Hello, Shatika. Yeah, I've had so much to do lately. You know, I'm still doing my gardening, but I've got so much to do with that and then rearranging the garden and everything else. I didn't get to film a lot of it. I'm just taking you out there showing you what I've accomplished. But I need to get back to showing how to plant and do all that kind of stuff. And I still haven't harvested the potatoes. But I definitely do plan to make a video when I go out there and see if I can dig around and see if there's any potatoes in my totes. I don't know. The tote, since it holds water in the bottom, may not work well. I don't know. Because potatoes don't like real wet ground. Because the potatoes will rot. They like it well drained, but they like plenty of water. But it's got to drain off real good. So I've got some right now in a bucket, a 5-gallon bucket. And I've also got 4 or 5 of those totes that are planted in potatoes. But when I do harvest them, maybe tomorrow, the next day, I don't know, when it's nice. It's been iffy today, and we've had that storm come through. So I didn't get out there and do much of anything except plant the seeds in the planter because I already had the soil in there. It was ready to go. And I'm kind of glad I did because I got the seed in the planter before it rained on it. So it's got good rainwater on those seeds. Well, I'm glad to see Connie and Gladys and a few more people in here because I know you have so many health problems. It's surprising that you even get into my lives a lot of times. And that reminds me, we've got about 22 in here now. Ann Watson shot me a message today. And she said, Linda, I'm in so much pain I can barely stand it. She said, I need prayer. She said, the doctors did something wrong when they did my surgery. And she said, I'm having so many complications and problems from the surgery. And she said, they've got to fix it. They got to do something about it. I can't handle it like this. She said, please tell everybody in chat tonight to pray for her. She's in desperate need of prayer for healing. So I told her I would definitely tell everybody and pass the message on to you so you'll know that's why she's not here. She's in too much pain to even think straight. Yeah, that's what I say. Oh no, I was hoping when she went in and had her surgery that, it was going to take care of things and she'd feel a lot better, but it's did just the opposite. It's made her worse. Well, I just told everybody, Diana that and Lisa, that Ann Watson sent me a message today telling me she's in dire need of prayer from everybody. She wanted me to tell you in chat tonight that since her surgery, they screwed something up big time. And she's in so much pain now she can barely stand it. And she said they've got to do something to fix the problem. But she don't know what they're going to do, when they're going to do it. But right now she's in so much pain she can't bear it. And that's why she's not in chat. And she's asking for everybody here to pray for her. Pray for healing. Gladys says she feels fine, just my pad's broken. Yeah, I feel for Ann. I'm so sorry that that's happened to her. I mean, you think when you go in and have surgery to fix a problem, it would make things a lot better, and that's what it's supposed to do. But in her case, they did something that didn't agree with all of it. I'm not saying they did anything wrong. I just don't know, but usually you don't come out of surgery in worse shape than what you go in as, That's absolutely true. I remember after my neck and back surgery, the first night I was home. No, it was a couple of nights later. I don't think I had pain pills anymore or something. And I tried to lay down with my pillow behind my head. I got in so much pain I could not stand it. And all of it, I kind of moved my neck around a little bit, and all of a sudden I felt something move in my neck. The pain instantly went away. So somehow I got a pinched nerve in there where they did surgery at. And that's what was causing the pain. And they did what they call an interbody fusion on my neck. They replaced the discs with bone from my hip. They shaved off bone from my hip and put it in there. And they put some kind of a mixture in it to make it look just like a cement. And it literally makes the bone regrow, and it grows into a disc in there. But something got pinched. And I thank God that was God's hand that moved my neck that night, and all of a sudden I was relieved of pain. But I had many, many, many months of headaches after that. Not all the time, but occasionally. I got so sick with headaches I couldn't stand it. Thank God I don't have headaches anymore. I'm not sure if they'll ever start back, but right now I don't have them. It's for Annie Watson, or Ann Watson is who I'm talking about. I don't know if her middle name is Sue or not, but I know her name is Ann Watson, not, you got it spelled A-N-N-E. Yeah, Ann Watson is the one that's asking for prayers. And you can tell it's so dark outside right now from the way the day has been. The sun has hardly been out. It makes my picture kind of dark because there's no sunlight coming through the windows. Need hip surgery, but I keep hearing about people receiving cadaver tissue not tested, and people have passed away due to the infection. So right now I will stay how I am, at least. Well, I never thought to ask my brother. My brother had hip surgery here a few years ago. He picked up a staph infection in the hospital, and he suffered for weeks, was sick, his hip hurt, run fevers, ended up back in the emergency room. They had to redo the whole complete hip surgery. And he's fine now. But oh my God, he suffered that first go round. But I never heard him say, and I didn't think to ask if they replaced any of his bone with cadaver bones. You know, I didn't ask. Well, I'm so allergic to everything. They just went in. I mean, they only made like an inch incision in my hip, went in with something and literally scraped my hip bone to get enough bone powder just to mix with that solution to regrow that bone and put it in my neck. I mean, that's the way my surgeon did it, and he was supposed to be the best. He was a brain surgeon. That's what he specialized in when he first started practicing. And he found years later that if you treat the spine, a lot of times you don't have to treat other parts of the body. You know, you might not need a hip surgery or a knee surgery if you treat the spine first, because a lot of time your pain comes from the spine, just through pinched nerves. When if you treated that spine, the pain wouldn't be there and you wouldn't even need surgery. You know, that's a lot to think about it. And I had good doctors. I went to chiropractors. I went to good surgeons. I feel like I was fortunate. I had the best. And I'm not saying that Ann didn't have the best. She probably did. But sometimes, you know, that's the chance we take. They'll tell you, and you sign a waiver saying you understand that things may not come out 100%. I mean, they can't guarantee anything. Well, you know what my chiropractor told me? Because he put me through therapy 3 and 4 times a day, every single day for weeks. And then it was every day after that. Then it was several times a week. Then it was several times a month. This went on for a whole year. And this is before he would ever agree to put me in surgery. Because he said the shape I was in, if I'd have went into surgery when I first got hurt, I would have come out probably in a wheelchair and never walked again. Because I'd already lost the use of my arm. It was just hanging to my side. I couldn't lift it up or do anything. I mean, if I moved it, I had to take this arm and pick it up. But 4 months through therapy with my chiropractor, got the use of my arm back. And then started taking vitamins and calcium and stuff, building my body up, getting ready for that surgery a year later. And I'm so glad I did. I mean, and there's Patty C. Hello, Patty. And there's Shelly Edwards. And Tenny. Good evening, Tenny. I was just telling everybody about planting the purple basil today. I put it in my little 5-tier planter that was sent to me. Yeah, if any of you get a chance, I posted like a 10-minute short video of our hailstorm and heavy rain that passed through. I was afraid to stay out there any longer. The wind was blowing and the hail hit the ground and it threw it up and came over into the patio. And several of them hit my leg when it came in. And I said, this is not safe in here. Yeah, I've never planted purple basil before, so. And I think we were talking about it or in chat about it. And so Shelly or Sheila sent me a package of purple basil. So I finally got that in some dirt today. And got some good rain on it, so it should sprout. Well, I don't know if we had storms last night. I was asleep, thank goodness. But when I did wake up this morning, the ground and the patio and the walkway, everything was soaked. It was all wet. So I know we got some rain last night. I don't know about storms, but we did get rain here. But that was a hailstorm that passed through this afternoon that I videoed, because I got a call on the phone warning me that we're under a severe thunderstorm and tornado watch warning, not watch, warning. And then later, about 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, I got another warning texted to me about a tornado. So, I mean, it's real calm right now, so I'm hoping the tornado passed. I hope it's still not lingering around anywhere. Patty said she saw my video. I know you could hear the hail hitting, but you didn't see a lot of it. Some of it was small, but others were big enough that you could see it when it hit the ground and it popped up 2 or 3 feet. And then all of a sudden, those great big egg-sized ones started falling. And I said, oh, I've never seen it that big here before. The other ones, yeah, about marble size or a little bigger than a good-sized marble. But not egg size. Not here, I haven't. I mean, I know, I told everybody, I said, if there was people with cars not protected, like my next-door neighbor across the street, she doesn't have a carport or anything over her car. I know she got some dents in her car today. She's bound to. At least 1 or 2. Yeah, it sounded like somebody was literally throwing great big rocks on the roof, just slamming them. That's what it sounded like to me. And Barb, hello, Barb. We got Shelly Edwards, Sheila McDaniel, Barb, Paws in the Garden. Hello, everybody. Yenin, hello. And there goes my phone. I never think to unplug that freaking thing. But I'm not going to run to the other end of the house to unplug it now. It'll be stopped ringing by the time I get there. Yeah, she did a nice job, I think, from what she was telling me. And I think she said one of the things was on the menu was deviled eggs wrapped in bacon sprinkled with Parmesan cheese. I've never heard of that. It sounds good, though. I think I read it right now. I may be wrong. But it sounds good to make a deviled egg and wrap it in bacon and have Parmesan cheese all over the bacon and then put it in the oven and cook it till the bacon's cooked. I mean, that's the way I understood it when I read it. But, you know, I've read things wrong before. Well, thank you, Paws in the Garden. I don't have any plans at all. Oh, that reminds me. I got another, I shouldn't show that because I don't want to show the address. I got another birthday card today. And this one is from Susie. And she sent me a Chili's gift card. So I guess I'll be going to Chili's. And I'll read to you what she says in it. It was carefully picked. Happy birthday. I want you to go to Chili's and get a I always forget how to pronounce that. Quesadilla explosion salad. I think you'll really like it. This is enough for you to have an appetizer and a drink and a tip for the server. I don't know why when I look at it, because it's not spelled out the way it sounds in your mind. So I have to stop and look at it. But it's a Quesadilla explosion salad. So I'm going to remember that when I go to Chili's, and I'm going to get me the Quesadilla explosion salad. And thank you so much, Susan. That explains what was said inside the car. It says, "How is this birthday card like your nose?" And then it goes on to say, "It was carefully picked. Happy birthday." But thank you, Susan. I didn't put it up there with the rest of them yet, but I will. In fact, I'll put it up there now. And I'm going to leave them up there till after Mother's Day. I'll celebrate my birthday again on Mother's Day. Yeah, it is a nice gift. So let's see. I got one from Sonnet, which I used the other day. I got one from Burger King. And I got another one. Where was it from? I forgot. But this makes the 4th gift card to go get something to eat. Yeah, I got one from Sonnet. Now one from Chili's. I got one from Burger King. And then I got another one. Dairy Queen, that's what it was. I could see the picture of the restaurant in my mind, and I couldn't think of the name of it till I saw DQ, Dairy Queen. So I will, I'm going to video it when I go. I told or messaged Susan. I said, well, I don't know about yours, but our Chili's, if it's busy time, that place is so noisy you can't hear yourself think. So I don't know how videoing it will go. I mean, maybe everybody will be so busy they won't pay attention to me videoing in there. That's what I'm hoping. Go around 2 o'clock. Well, the last time I went was on a Sunday. I just got out of church and I went straight to Chili's. I drove around a little bit because I couldn't make my mind up where I wanted to go. And then I remembered the Philly cheesesteak sandwich that me and my daughter got at the football stadium when we went for a Super Bowl one year. Yeah, I made it to a Super Bowl. Do you believe that? My daughter and my son-in-law took me. And we got a Philly cheesesteak sandwich at the stadium, and it was so good. Well, I thought about that, and I said, well, I know Chili has them. So I went there, and that's what I ordered that day, was a Philly cheesesteak sandwich. And it was good, but it was so noisy. Oh, my God. Things rattling, clatter, talking, TVs going. I mean, you couldn't hear yourself think. I said, well, that might be a good thing, because if I'm in there recording with my camera, that maybe they won't pay attention to what I'm doing. Never done that, and now I wouldn't want to. Wouldn't want to do what? I just read your comment, Susan. I don't know if you said something before that Jess and I go like that, so don't have to eat much for supper. Well, I've never done that, and now I wouldn't want to. Well, if they were making that much noise, well, that's how it was the last time I went. And a friend of mine that lives at Lake Jackson says the one down there where he lives is the same way. He said there's so much more noise and clatter. He said if you're with someone, you couldn't talk to them because they couldn't hear what you were saying. Well, thank you, Shelley. Look at that super chat. Bless your heart. Thank you so much. I can't wait till that purple basil sprouts. I got a couple of regular basil come up and growing into little plants, and finally got around to planting that purple basil seed, or some of it. I didn't plant all of it. Not yet. Because I said if it don't come up, I'll plan it a different way and maybe the next time it'll come up. I didn't send a card so you can get a bite. No, that's okay. You're fine. My purple basil seeds are, I mean, I'm tickled to death over them. It's plenty, Shelly. Don't worry about it. There was a lot of seeds in that package. I was surprised. And I planted quite a few in that little planter, because it's a pretty long little tray. I planted, just kind of sprinkled them through there. So if those seeds germinate and come up, I'm going to have more plants that I'm going to know what to do with. And I just used probably a 20th of the seeds that was in that package. Yeah, I had already tried 4 o'clocks. I put a couple of seeds out. They never did come up, so I got to reading up on them. And it said the best way to do is to soak them in a paper towel in a plastic bag at least for 24 hours before you try to plant them. And that kind of soaks, gets the shell a little bit soft and helps them germinate before you plant them. So that's why I'm trying them this way. I don't want to lose all my seed. I want me some 4 o'clocks. And I know if I can get 4 o'clock started, they're perennials. They'll come up every year. So we'll see. I'm going to baby them till they come up. That's one reason I moved that planter back up closer to the patio to where I can keep a closer watch on it and keep it watered and that type of thing. Because if I put them back there in the greenhouse, I get busy doing stuff. I forget I got stuff in there planted, I forget I've got seeds in there. And my lemon trees never did sprout. I don't know what happened to the seed. They disappeared. Something ate them, I guess. You always soak nasturtium seed. Yeah. There's Ann Watson. Hello, Ann. We were talking about you. I was giving everybody your message. We miss having you in chat too, Ann. But I passed your message on to everybody, so they're going to be praying for you. I said I had to at least color my hair a little bit. So if anybody did pop in this coming weekend, my hair wouldn't look too awfully terrible. I don't know what I'm going to do with it other than that, but at least I don't have a bunch of gray roots showing. Hello, Ann. We've got 33 people. Way to go. 18 thumbs up, 35 people watching. And there's Michelle Clouston. How does your doors look? My doors that I shortened for my rooms, putting the floor down, they look great. I finally got the bedroom floor down, but now I got to go to the other end of the house and put it down in my bedroom and the main bathroom. And then my kitchen and living room needs a second floor. They put down the first floor for me and then covered in linoleum. And that's the only thing I hate about that, because when I do the kitchen and living room, it's going to cover up my linoleum that I got down. And I love the pattern. But I'm afraid if we tried to take it up and put it back down again, it would just split. Because if you pick it up wrong, it just splits so easy, it's ridiculous. My hair has been this long for so many years now. I don't know if I could handle having it cut in layers again. My hair was always long like this when I was growing up. And then I let it grow out before my son was born. It was this long. And I had it cut off about 1 inch long all over my head. The beautician looked at me and she said, "Are you sure?" She said, "Your hair is so long to cut it that short." I said, "Yep," but I said, "I'm getting ready to have this baby," because I was 9 months pregnant. And I said, "I can't deal with this hair." So she cut it off about 1 inch long all over. And I remember when I walked out of the beauty shop that day, the wind was blowing a little bit. You could feel the breeze just blowing my hair. And it felt like I was bald. It just felt like I didn't have any hair up there. Shelly's been working around her flower bed. I've been working, putting my shade cloth up over my canopy, over that garden. And then I put a small, skinny shade cloth up around the silver shed where my tomato plants and my, mashed potato squash is growing. Because it didn't like that heat day before yesterday we had. And I tried to get it up to where it will grow up the trellis so it doesn't go on the ground, I'm hoping. I can't do some of the watermelon like that because there's one of those watermelons, I don't remember which one, it can get up to 30 pounds. I can't see a 30-pound watermelon hanging on a trellis. You'd have to put a sling under it. Yeah, so I got 3 or 4 different types of watermelon planted out there, and they're just going to run across the ground because I don't know how to fix and I don't have anything to make a trellis that a watermelon could grow on, unless it was a little bitty one, you know. And I said, if this summer's like every summer I've ever lived here, it's not going to be long before it's going to get dry and hot. We're not going to get any more rain. And all the grass and weeds are going to die in the yard anyway. So the only thing that's going to be growing across the yard is my watermelon vine. Because that's the only thing that'll get watered. And I planted it in a great big bag with the bottom cut, you know, so if the roots wanted to, the roots can go down in the ground. They say take a picture of it. Are you talking about her rock garden? I need to redo some of my rock garden. Some of the rocks over the years are falling and shifted, and because I never did cement a bunch of the last ones that were put up together. The only ones that are concreted or cemented together are around the big square one on the left side of the house, and then the one there at the water fountain, the beehive as I call it. Where I turned it into a planter. I don't know what I'm going to do with them trees over there. I've tried to get hold of the person that owns the lot. I tried calling them. I tried sending them messages because I did find out who the owner was. But I don't get any answer on the phone. They've not answered my messages yet. Little buddy was outside on the front porch eating a little while ago. He's probably in the swing now taking a nap. Yeah, I don't know what, those trees are bigger than what they look like in that picture. There's like 4 or 5 dead mesquite trees, and they were in a clump. 2 of them have fell back that way on that man's property. The other 2, one is going this way that's halfway down. The other one has come over on my lot, and it's down, and the limbs are holding it up. But the one that's halfway down, it's going to be on my lot too. So both of those trees are going to have to come out of there. And I was hoping I could get that man that owns the lot to come look at them, and maybe he'll cut them out and not make me do it. I can't afford to pay someone to do it. I mean, I've cut trees down before, so I guess I can get out there and start hacking away at it with my chainsaw. Yeah, I own a chainsaw, y'all. I bought myself an electric chainsaw years ago. Diana Hinkle said, I need a haircut. Hopefully I'll get one soon. Hi, Betty Blue. How's Betty Blue doing this evening? Yeah, like I said, I'm undecided whether I want to cut my hair or not. Because when you cut it, you can't put it back. You got to wait and let it grow back again. And mine's all frizzy now with all this humidity in the air. That's the way curly hair does. The way my hair is. It gets all frizzy and it doubles in size. I had a bum surgery. My surgeon was rated number 1, but I don't think so, and I don't know what to do about it. My husband missed 1 whole month of work and no way to recoup. Well, what does your surgeon say about it? I mean, when you go back for checkups, does he not say why you're having so much pain? I mean, if something's wrong, your surgeon should make it right. Yeah, it'll grow, but it takes a long time. I don't have any plans for Mother's Day. My son don't like it because I keep my hair colored. And he said, and years ago, some of his co-workers kept telling him he shouldn't have his girlfriend come by the job. They all know he's married. And he laughed at him. He said, that's not my girlfriend, that's my mom. And he's gray-headed. He's got quite a bit of gray hair. So, you know, I do look like I could possibly still be his girlfriend, I guess. And he feels kind of uncomfortable about that. I thought to myself, well, if I was him, I'd just look at it this way. If he took me out to eat with me and his wife, just smile about it and think, well, everybody will think you got 2 good-looking women that you're taking out. They won't know that one's your wife and one's your mom. They'll think both of them are your girlfriends. Yeah, that caused a little bit of a hassle with him at first. I had real blonde hair then, and it was cut in layers. And I worked in Fort Worth. And sometimes when I got off work, I'd swing by where he worked. And, you know, they saw me, and I said, man, you shouldn't have your girlfriend coming by the job. We all know you're married. It wasn't his girlfriend, it was his mother. Yeah, I trim my hair up all the time. Try to keep split ends and stuff off. Yeah, I still laugh about that, them thinking that I was his girlfriend. But I looked good back then. I mean, yeah, nice compliment that they thought I could possibly even be his girlfriend, not his mother. Yeah, I know. It used to be longer than this when I worked in Fort Worth or when I worked in Everman for Al Tiller. It was so long I'd almost sit on it when I was sitting at my desk. So that's when I really wore it twisted up just to keep it out of the way, for work. I remember I got there one morning early. I had showered that morning and shampooed my hair. I didn't get my hair completely dry, so I left it down till I got to work. And I got out of the car and kind of swung around, and some of the people inside were looking out the window, and they saw me, and they saw how long my hair was. And they said, "Who is that? We don't have anybody with hair like that works here." But it was me because I just didn't have it balled up, my tight bun. But I put it up, when I got inside. Yeah, all the trials and tribulations I've been through, I guess I still don't look too awfully bad. I've gained more weight than what I want, and I'd love to get rid of it, but then that might make me look even older. If I lost some of the fat off my face, it might all look wrinkled up then. And like I said, my hair is really curly. I mean, if I was in North Carolina where it's humid every day, 24/7, it would be twice as curly as it is right now. It's more frizz right here than it is curl. But back home, it really curls. Thank you, Patty C. And there's Kai. Hello, Kai. And we have a Paul Hands. Paul Hands work. And my surgeon never once came to see me in the hospital. Not one time. Well, sometimes the actual surgeons don't. You don't see them until you go in for that checkup, what is about 5 or 6 weeks after surgery. And then a lot of times, if you don't have another appointment for a checkup with them, you don't ever see them again unless you got a problem. But in your case, you got a problem. So I think I'd be making an appointment with that surgeon and tell him, hey, we got a problem here. You got to take care of it. I mean, usually, the nurses that come in and check on you and fill out the charts and stuff like that, they're working on his orders and they report back to him. But when you got home from the hospital and realized you have a problem, you're in pain, you need to notify that surgeon and tell him, we got a problem here. You need to take care of this. Have you notified your surgeon at all about the problems you're having? I think I would. I mean, he's not going to know if you don't let him know. I never had problems, so I didn't have to go back to my surgeon, after my checkups. After then, I never saw him again because I didn't need him. But if I'd have had a problem, oh yeah, I'd be calling his office and making an appointment And I'd say, hey, we got a problem. You got to take care of this. I mean, surgeons aren't magicians. They're not God. They do the best they can. And I'm sure you had an A1 surgeon, Ann. I'm not saying for 1 minute you didn't. But sometimes things just don't go as planned. It's nobody's fault. That's just what happens sometimes. But yeah, I would definitely get in touch with him and let him know what's going on. He's been notified? Okay. I know it's tough to lose weight as we get older. Sometimes we're not quite as active as we were, for one. And we get to the point where we don't care anymore. We feel like we're getting older and we eat the stuff that we probably shouldn't be eating. But I kind of think I eat about the same way I always did, except maybe for sweets and stuff like that. I had more of that readily available to me the last couple of years. Whereas before I was buying basic food, not the little fringe benefits. Oh my goodness, Patty C. Well, I joked about that because I was injured at Walmart. I was a department manager for them when I got hurt. And I said, yeah, I broke my neck for Walmart. And it seemed like the woman before me that was manager, that's what happened to her. That's why she was not there. She injured her back. She quit work. She didn't go back. And I went to work there as a cashier. That's all I wanted to do was just run the cashier. Let me pull my 8 hours and just do that. Well, no, they knew I had managerial experience from being a manager at J.M. Fields in North Carolina before I came out here. So they said, you're going to be houseware and small appliances manager. I said, no, I don't want to be a manager. Just let me run the register. No, you got experience. We need you over there. So, other words, you either do it or quit. So I went over there and I started working. I didn't mind doing the job. I increased sales like crazy. I even got the Mad Merchant award one year for having the most sales in my department for anybody in the whole district. The only problem was I got hurt. I moved too many boxes, lifted too many heavy objects too often. And my back and neck couldn't handle it. Yeah, I told him, I said, just leave me at the register. That's all I want to do. I don't want the responsibility of a department. So instead of giving me one department, they give me 2 departments to run. I got houseware and small appliances, so go figure that. Sometimes we don't get what we want, do we? Well, the seasonal jobs that I got for like Big Lots and Lowe's was seasonal jobs, and that was basically running the register. At night, I helped kind of straighten up at the store when it closed, before we could leave. But other than that, I was basically running the register. And it was easy at Lowe's because you didn't have to punch in the numbers. You didn't have to like pull every item across the counter. You had the little scan gun. Sometimes if it was a heavy item, you didn't pick it up. You just took the gun over there and scanned it. You didn't put it in a bag or anything, just left it in their cart. So that made it easy for me. Oh, you're not going to believe where I got this t-shirt. I'll give you 2 guesses. Isn't that pretty? Trying to show it to you. It came from Temu. 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 I had ordered, yes, Connie, Temu. I had ordered, I came across the moats for the bird feeders. You know, I made some and did a video on it, but I came across some cute ones that was on their website, and they were so cheap. I ordered them, and I ordered that little bird house for hummingbirds. I'd never seen a hummingbird house before. You had to have an order of $15 to get everything at the discounted price. So I spent $15 and got the hummingbird moat, the little hummingbird house, and I think I got 2 shirts for $15. So I didn't think that was too bad. I mean, I hadn't bought any shirts in so long, it was ridiculous. Huh. Well, you know what? When I was going through all that, I didn't take hormones or anything. The doctors never gave me anything because the doctors didn't even know about it. I didn't tell them. I never had hot flashes, none of it. And when I first started to barely having a hot flash, I talked to my neighbor about it. Her sister in Germany was a nurse in Germany. And her sister told her what to take for hers. And it was, I can't think of the name of it. But you buy it right over the counter. Walmart has it. Most of these local stores have it in their pharmacy section. You don't need a prescription for it. Estroven. That's what it was. Estroven. Estroven. I took 1 a day. Never had hot flashes. Never had any problems with the change of life. Never even knew I was going through it. So you might try something like that if you're not already taking it. I don't know if you're taking anything or not. Estrogen. Yeah, it's Estrogen or VEN or one of those. They have 2 or 3 different names to them, but I'm sure any one of the 3 would work. But that's the one I used. Back in the time when I was taking it, it came in kind of a pink box, and it had enough pills for a whole month. You took 1 a day. Hi, Kim. Glad you could make it, and it's okay if you came in late. Nobody's pushing a time clock on my live channel. Come in anytime you want. Yeah, well, I recommend if you have not been to the doctor yet and you're not taking something he prescribed for you, I would buy some Estroven and try it. Because like I said, there's like 3 different ones that you can get. And that's just the one that I bought because that was the one my neighbor was taking, and she said it worked for her. And she said if that one don't work, you can switch and take one of the other ones. So that first one worked for me. And I probably took it for 4 or 5 years and then finally just quit taking it altogether. Yeah, Patty C said she took it too and it helped. Yeah, I didn't even know that I was going through anything taking that. I felt normal. Whatever normal is, you know. Yeah, I needed some new shirts because a lot of my shirts were too small, too tight, getting holes in them. And I found some on Temu, and I thought they were the cutest thing, so I ordered a couple of them. Because I said I needed some for the videos, you know, getting out there working in the garden and all that. I don't want to wear shirts with big holes in them. And I don't want to dress up in the best thing I got to get out there and work either, so. And they're so inexpensive. Oh my gosh. And if you ever need to send anything back, guess what they do? They tell you to, they give you two choices. Do you want the cash back immediately? Or do you want to, no, if you want credit immediately, or do you want cash deposited in your account? And if you want cash deposited back in your account, you got to wait 10 to 15 days. And I always choose the refund immediately, so you can just turn around and buy something else with it. And then they tell you you don't even have to send the first item back. Go figure that. Because I ordered a shirt that I love to death. It looks so good. But when I put it on, oh my God. I look like a weird, out of shape sausage with the arm sticking out. If that makes sense. So you know what I did with it since they told me I didn't need to send it back? I put it on Poshmark to resell it. We'll see if I can resell it on there. It can be addicting though. You got to be careful because their prices are so low. But then they give you a minimum of what you can order to get their low prices. But so I don't shop very often on there because, I can't afford it. But I did need a couple of shirts that look decent to get out there and work in the garden in. Or wear anywhere. Or some that were kind of high necked. I don't want to wear a low cut blouse and bend over because I'm usually all standing on my head. Give everybody an X-rated view of my chest or something. Which I don't think anybody want to look, but still I don't want to do that. So I want something that's, kind of high. So if I bend over, I don't have to worry about it. Well, I hope you know April. Oh, there's April. You weren't in our chat Tuesday night. We missed you, girl. Everybody was asking, where's April? Where's April? I hope you know half of Texas is underwater. They've been rescuing people in boats. Some homes are completely underwater up to the roof. Some have 2 foot of water inside. But I'm sorry that April's going to be... She's got a flash flood watch out. I hope you're on high enough ground that it doesn't affect you. Yeah, it is. Like I said, Patty, see, it's addicting, though. You got to be careful. Those low prices will get you. Oh, April she fell asleep, just woke up. Well, you're entitled to do that. You work pretty hard. You seen clips of Texas, yeah. So most of Texas is underwater. I am, Kim, but we had a surprise birthday celebration Tuesday night. Everybody wanted me to go live Tuesday night because that was my birthday. And then I got all of the birthday people for May, and I put them on the thumbnail. So we had a birthday celebration live Tuesday night. I don't usually go live on Tuesday, but that's why we did it. I'm surprised you didn't see the thumbnail that showed that I was going to go live Tuesday night. Was bad in North Carolina. F1 tornado here yesterday. Oh, wow. Yeah, we've had tornado warnings here off and on all day today, yesterday, last night. Evidently, you don't have on your notifications. When you subscribe to the channel, you hit subscribe, and then there's a little bell to the left. If you'll go back now and just hit that bell, a menu will come up, and you can specify all notifications. You need to hit all notifications, and then from after that, the your phone or your computer will notify you every time I post a video or I schedule a live, so you'll know. Well, thank you, Michelle. I did have a wonderful day, and I had an even better, wonderful evening with everybody in the celebration, because it was, what, about 9 or 10 birthdays for May. Okay, Patty C., will you be well? Have a good night. Enjoy your day tomorrow. And there's Ashley Chapman. Hello, Ashley. How is Ashley? I can't find a yellow rose plant. Looking for my memorial garden for my dog I had to put down. Oh. You have a Walmart near you, Kim? Or Home Depot or any? I mean, you should be able to find a little old yellow rose. I bought mine years ago. I think it was either, it may have been at Walmart I bought it. And I don't remember the name on it. I just call it my yellow rose of Texas, because it looks yellow when it buds and it first opens, and then when it's fully opened it looks white. But I think it's pretty, and I'm so happy it survived, because that's one of the first rose bushes I ever planted living here. None at Home Depot, Walmart, or Lowe's. Wow. Look online, see if you can order one. Sometimes Lowe's or Home Depot or Walmart will have sorry. They'll have different color roses and stuff online when they don't stock them in the store. You saw one yesterday? Called Ivory. Yeah, sometimes you can find stuff online at those same stores that they don't have in stock at the store. It's better, I think, to buy them in the store, because then you know you're getting one for local, that can grow locally. Did you look, I think when I bought mine, it was in the plastic tube. The tube, the roots had a tube like that, and it was in the plastic. And then just part of the plant out of the top. I don't know what they call those. Did you look in that section where rose bushes were to see if they had one? Oh, okay, that's what it is. It's called Ivory. They look yellow and then they turn white. Well, I guess that's what mine is then. Now I know what my plant is, my rose is. It's an ivory. Yeah, if I can keep the bugs off of it, the bugs try to eat all the new leaves coming on it. So I have to keep it sprayed with that soap and stuff to keep them from devouring my banana plant. They like the plant. They need to leave it alone. I guess I can try putting one of my nets over the top. I made those little domes out of tulle. I don't know why I haven't thought about that. I've got 10 of them in the shed, and just put it over the planter where the two trees are, because they're big enough that they'll cover it. So if there's anything flying by that gets on them that's been eating them, that'll keep it off. I may do that tomorrow. A good soap to use is Doc Bonner's. Well, I don't know. I bought some of that. It's spray in a little bottle about that tall that's ready to use. And it's made with soap and something. And that's what I've been spraying a lot of my stuff with. But when it rains on it, they come right back. So I need to get one of those tool covers that I made. I don't know if y'all remember seeing them, but I had it over my cabbages for a long time until the cabbage got so big I couldn't put them over it anymore. Yeah, I think I will cover them tomorrow if it's not raining with that tool dome that I made. And I can anchor it down somehow. Yeah, and your pets become family when you've had them that long too. Doesn't matter if it's a dog or cat or rabbit or what it is. They're almost like your family. You think just about as much of them. I mean, you get attached to them. Okay, April, she's going to go feed because it's not raining. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't think of that. I keep moving those tool covers around in my shed. And that's what they're made for, is to keep the bugs off your little bitty plants. But I didn't even think about it for my banana trees because they're only about that tall. I said if they survive this summer heat, they're going to be doing good. I may have to put a shade cloth over my banana trees. I know I didn't plant cabbage this year. Well, not the green cabbage that heads up. Because every time it would try to head up, I tried to keep it sprayed, but the bugs would just eat it full of holes. And I said, well, I don't want it to head up and every single leaf be full of holes like that. I mean, I'd love to grow cabbage and collards. My tree collard, that one little tree, it survived and it's growing. I know when it rains like this, they grow 2 or 3 inches every night. It's scary. You go out there and like, oh my God, look at that plant, how much it's grown just since yesterday. I believe it, Kim. They grow like crazy when they get good rain on them. I've got little tomatoes on my beefsteak, and I think on my hillbilly tomato plant, I've got little tiny, not quite marble-sized tomatoes on there now. I'm tickled to death. Because, those under that canopy was the first ones that I planted. I think I planted hillbilly, beefsteak. I planted that slice of tomato that I got all those plants from. That one's still growing and producing blooms. So I should have tomatoes on that pretty soon if they're not on it already. I got a better boy growing in there too. And I planted more of my Ace 55 tomatoes. I had those last year. I planted some in a little pot out here, the seed, and it looks like every one of the seeds coming up. So I'm going to have to do something with those when they get bigger. I'm already taking some of my compost tea buckets and turning them into planters. That's what I did to put that tree collard in it, because I had to separate it from the cucumber. I didn't want the cucumber twisting all around my tree collard. But I think what I'm going to do, I'll use some of the buckets that I've got compost tea in as planters. And then I'm going to buy another one of those 32-gallon trash cans and turn it into a compost container. And that'll be just one big container sitting there instead of 3 or 4 or 5-gallon buckets. I think that'll work better. Or she may end up with a pet finding her like little buddy found me. I didn't have to go to the Humane Society to find him. He found me and he adopted me. He said, hey, you're going to be my mama from now on. He said, this is going to be my house from now on. That's me, Kim. I can't afford nothing on a fixed income. I tell you, my income is not even enough to pay all my bills every month. That's why I went to YouTube to try to make a little bit of money each month. And there's Cindy Sandu. Hello, how are you doing? I know, look how big it was. Oh my God. I mean, it wasn't tons of it. You know, a lot of times it's the smaller hail and it just completely covers the ground. But this wasn't a lot, but it was big. Big old clumps, egg size and big marble size. You have wildcats here on the hill all the time? Well, the cat I had before, Crybaby, he was half bobcat because the lady I got him from when he was 5 weeks old said she had 2 litters of kittens. One was 100% regular cat. The litter that my cat, Crybaby, come from, she said, now I'm pretty sure the daddy to those was one of these bobcats that were coming around here. So she said, I don't know if you should take that one or not, but that's the one I took. He was like little buddy. He adopted me. He was climbing up the leg of my pants and everything when I was at her house, like he was coming home with me. Her son gave me a towel to put on the seat, thinking that cat was just going to lay there and go to sleep. Well, I started the car up and started leaving. The little kitten started walking around the seat, you know, traveling around. Before I know it, that cat got up on the back of the seat, went behind my head, got on this shoulder, curled up with his head up here, and went to sleep. And he slept up there all the way from their ranch to Granbury to my house. That was the oddest thing. So I said, well, I guess Crybaby adopted me too. You got baseball yesterday. It was snow and rain mixed. Oh my goodness, Cindy. Oh, you're in Alaska. That's why you got snow and rain mixed today. Big hail. You had hail at that baseball game? Yeah, and you'll know the pet for you because it'll be like Little Buddy and Crybaby that I used to have. They'll kind of adopt you. You have a friend that lives in Alaska, Connie? No snow sticks, but it still sucks. Yeah, it'd be pretty for a while, but then I can see where you'd get tired of snow. Just like I get tired of the heat here in the summer, you know. Heck yeah, she said, that's awesome. All my pets adopted me. They know good people. Yeah, they know. They sense whether you're a person they want to be with or not. That's what my brother told me. He said, people just don't realize it. You don't adopt the pet. the pet adopts you. You're way far away from Sitka. Hmm. Have you ever thought about going to visit them in Alaska, Connie, over the years? I mean, I know you probably wouldn't want to go now, but I was wondering if you ever thought about it in the years past. That would be kind of interesting if you had friends that lived in Alaska that you could go spend a week with or something, and just see what it was like to live in Alaska. I hate typing out my stuff, so just reading and listening type so fast I make too many mistakes and get frustrated. I do the same thing, Sheila. And then if you go to that voice recognition, there's no telling what it's going to type in for you. It might type in something you don't want it to. Alaska is beautiful in July, August, and August months. He comes here once a year and stays with us. Yes, I do want to go to Alaska. I haven't, but I want to. Well, that's nice that he comes to the States to see you. Or comes to Washington to see you. I've never been to Alaska, and I only know a couple of people that have been there. And that's my niece, Suzanne. Her and her husband sold everything they had here. They bought property in Alaska, and they were going to go over there and build a house and live there for a while. Only they had a few misconceptions about building in Alaska. I guess they had watched a lot of these videos and stuff on that, and they figured, well, restrictions are pretty slack over there, and they could pretty much do what they wanted to as far as building a house. Well, my niece, she didn't want to be way out in the country in the boonies, away from everybody. She wanted to be close to a town or city. So where they bought their property, oh my goodness, there was so many restrictions on building that they never did get to build their house. They ended up coming back to the States or back to North Carolina where they lived. And I don't know if they sold the property in Alaska or if it's up for sale. Hopefully they were able to sell it and get their money back. Darlene, I am in north central Texas. I'm about an hour south of Fort Worth and Dallas. It takes me about an hour to drive from here to Fort Worth. I go up 377 interstate. I'm about 150 miles south of Anchorage. Wow. I'm in Texas where mostly it was all desert land at one time, not too many years ago. And then we did have the Brazos River that went through, but just before we moved here, they put in a 35-mile man-made lake that traveled right along the Brazos River. So that's helped a lot, and it's helped bring a lot of people out here too. And that's one reason they built the nuclear power plant where they did, is to have access to the water. And that's originally what brought us out here. I was still married at the time. My husband was a nuclear engineer. He was transferred from Southport, North Carolina nuclear power plant to Comanche Peak power plant, which is about 15 minutes from here. You've always wanted to visit Alaska in the summer? Well, I'm wondering, it'd be so strange, because, they go through a season where it never gets dark. It's always daylight. That would be really strange. I don't know. I'm going to eat some more of my fresh garden beans and potatoes that I cooked yesterday. I love them. I mean, I hadn't fixed fresh green beans like that in a long time. So I picked all the beans I could find out there, and I cooked me that pot of green beans and potatoes, and that's what I've been eating. I ate 2 bowls of them today. And I'll probably eat my last bowl after my live is over. Oh, Ann said my phone died, but I'm back. Well, welcome. I noticed you had disappeared. I didn't know where you were. Yeah, it would be strange, to live in a place where they go through a season where it's night 24 hours. No, it's daylight 24 hours a day. Never gets dark. So you think, well, I don't need to go to bed. It's still daylight outside. Because our bodies are geared to, when it gets dark, it's bedtime. When it's daylight, it's time to get up. You bought string beans on accident one time. What a pain. Well, string beans are good. Yeah, they're good with ham. I just didn't take out ham. If I'd have thought of it, I probably would have, but I was showing you how to make them. Say if you didn't have ham and you just had a couple of strips of bacon, you can always fry the bacon and put them in there. Yeah, it's light till about 11 p.m. now, and soon it won't get dark at all. I know, when I travel to North Carolina, just that hour difference kind of gets me. But that's a little bit easier to deal with because at least it gets dark relatively at the same time. In Alaska, if you get there the right time of the year, it's daylight 24/7. It don't ever get nighttime. I'd wear myself out because I'd be working all night long. I'd be in my garden doing something. And there's Craig. Hey, Craig. How's Craig doing this evening? And I went through StreamYard Tuesday night because a couple of people said they wanted to get on in the picture with me. And I went on StreamYard. I went live on StreamYard. And then I forgot to post the link in live chat. And no one mentioned it. So I used up about 3 hours of StreamYard of my being able to have people up on the picture and forgot. But I didn't worry about it because I said, well, nobody wanted to get up there with me or they would have mentioned it in chat. So Birds don't know it's night and sing all night. They wear themselves out, don't they? One thing about it, if you work all day doing stuff and it comes 8 o'clock and you wanted to go fishing, and maybe before you wouldn't go fishing because it got dark, you could still go fishing in the middle of the night because it's daylight, right? You could fish all night and it would still be daylight. Michelle's eating her grapes. Yeah, and I was thinking about that today. I said, you know what? I got to go fishing. And then we got those warnings about tornadoes and the storm headed this way. And I said, well, I better stay close to home because I didn't know what was going to happen. But I'm planning a fishing trip pretty soon. And I'll take y'all with me. I always promise when I go fishing, I'll take you with me. Gladys loves for me to go on those trips and do like I did at Sonic because she gets to go and see, because she's confined. She doesn't get out and go. So she told me it was like she was sitting in the front seat with me. I said, well, that made me feel good. It made me feel better about doing it because I figured, well, no one wants to watch me go to Sonic or go stand on the fishing pier and fish, but I guess they do. I grew up cleaning my own fish, so that never bothers me. I caught a great big old bass one time, and that couple that was sitting down there next to me was watching me, and I wasn't getting any more bites, but that was a big old bass. I mean, that made 2 or 3 meals for me. And I pulled that fish out of the basket that I had down in the water, and I cleaned him right there on the sidewalk. And I threw the remains of him back in the water because the fish and everything eat it, It don't stay there, it's gone. And I brought the fillets and stuff home with me. I said I didn't want to wait till I got home and do that. But I do that now because I take all of that leftover fish scrap and I put it in my compost buckets, my compost tea buckets. And there's Vegan Menu. Hello, Vegan. Oh, Craig says he enjoyed my trip to Sonic. I enjoyed it too. I felt like an idiot though. I should have put the card in the slot up on the screen, and I didn't do that. When the waitress come out there, I gave her the card. And she did it. She probably figured, well, where does this person live? Out in Timbuktu? She's not even in civilization. I know, I forget about the camera. I get to talking, I get to driving, and then I forget which way the camera's facing. And I always mean to put it to the front so you see where I'm going, not watch me. I know I'm the last thing y'all want to see. So I'll try to pay attention to that more in the future. I didn't hear you. Yeah, I would have loved to went live, but I was afraid the camera would have cut out because I don't know. I don't have very much luck with the Wi-Fi reception with all the stores and everything out there. Not for a live because, you know, I tried to go live for the 4th of July for the fireworks. And I mean, it could have been because it was nighttime. I don't know. But maybe I'll try it again. I'll try to go live and go out there sometime. Maybe when I go to one of the other places to use up my card. I don't know. We'll see. People think I'm crazy. I'm sitting there talking to my camera, you know. They say, well, who's she talking to? I'm talking to my subscribers. Jess even watched it. Well, you'll see too when I go to Chili's. I don't know if I'll be able to go live out there or not, but I will video it if I can't go live. And hopefully it's not going to be the noisiest time of day when I get there, or maybe not the noisiest day. Yeah, I know, Connie, and I keep saying I'm going to do that, and I don't. I say I'm going to take a day off, and I don't. I usually find something to do. Oh, it gets hot here, but most of the time it cools off a little after the sun goes down. You'd be surprised at the difference between night and day here. It can be 105 degrees all day. Nighttime comes, the temperature drops considerably. Hi, Linda, you're still here. I just got done with my phone call. Yeah, we're still here. And there's Dolores. Hello. Oh, she says, gotta go. Our electrical grid is zonked in and out. Have a good evening. Well, you take care too, Dolores. Be safe. Have a good night. Have a blessed day tomorrow. I have a crazy, active, can-do attitude. Yeah, that's probably what I need to do. But then they would really notice that I've got the camera going. They noticed right away when I went to um, Burger King the other day. Well, whatever day was it I made that video. I could see that the girls up there talking behind the counter when I sat at the table. One of them told one of them told the other one. She said, "I think we're gonna be on YouTube." She's running her video because I guess they saw my videos and knew I had a YouTube channel. Well, happy Mother's Day to you too. Cindy's telling everybody happy Mother's Day. Yeah, I don't have plans for Sunday or Saturday, so I don't know. I'll schedule my live like usual, but if something comes up, you'll know why it's not going on. Or I might go live from wherever I'm at. I don't know. But no, I don't have any plans. Mukbangs are very popular. People want to watch eat. LO. Well, so definitely share. You'll get views. Thanks, Connie. What is a MUKBANGS? I think somebody mentioned that in one of my other chats, and I may have asked, but I don't remember what it was. Mukbangs are very popular. Well, Sheila, happy Mother's Day anyway, whether you're a mother or not. Oh, where you eat a lot. Okay. It's just a social gathering over food. Oh, okay. Susan says, I'm going to plant my garden. Well, that'll be a good day to plant it on. Vegan knows what mukbangs are. Oh, I know. I've seen quite a few of them. Yeah, we usually call them picnics or um, get-togethers or reunions or. You know, I was first a little bit self-conscious about eating in front of the camera. I felt kind of self-conscious about sitting and having people watch me eat. And it's like, I feel like they should be here eating with me, not just me eating in front of them, you know? See, I mean, I got 34 thumbs up. Hey, that's pretty good. 39 watching. We have a few silent watchers out there, or silent viewers. I have a friend of mine, she said, well, I don't do YouTube because I don't want to pay for a subscription. I said, girl, you don't pay for a subscription. You just need a Google account. And if you have a Gmail, the free Gmail, you've got a Google account. It doesn't cost anything. Your Google account's free. Subscriptions to YouTube channels are free. But she had an injury, a head injury or a bunch of stuff going on. She had surgeries, and there's a lot of things she doesn't remember, or maybe doesn't remember how to do. So she's in the stage where she's learning all over again. So I'm trying to tell her, well, you don't need a subscription, just a Google account and get a free email account, and you can subscribe. Just sign in and subscribe to my channel. It's not going to cost you anything. Oh, that sounds good, Susan. Leftover pork chops, peas, and potatoes. Was hoping you had a baby that way. What? Sharon, hey, don't be sorry you made it, and I am very happy to see you, friend. Susan, you've lost me. I was hoping you had a baby that way. Where did that come from? I have to make a joke out of that one because I was reading all these other posts, and then all of a sudden Susan's popped up. Haven't seen Too Tall Rob lately. Maybe he's a silent viewer. An animal baby. Okay. You had me like, what? For her to be a mother. Ooh, gracious, we've been on here almost 2 hours already. I'm having fish and hush puppies and also JoJo's. I made JoJo's. That sounds good. Oh, okay. Sheila. She's talking to me about being a mother. I mean, you know how it is. All of a sudden, you're reading all these chats, and it has nothing to do with motherhood or having babies or anything. And all of a sudden, that pops up. It's like, what? I wonder. Okay, I missed something back there. It's interesting just sitting back reading the chat. You never know what's going to pop up. I know, Betty. It's funny when that happens because you say, well, I know from that comment I missed something somewhere in there. You made your gravy from scratch, Susan? Well, practice makes perfect, Susan. Keep trying till you get it right. You'll learn how to season it. You'll learn how to exactly how much flour to put to how much grease to how much water, and you'll make it real good. Or how much milk if you're going to make a milk gravy, for your sausage and biscuits. Your milk gravy that goes with your sausage. Yeah, it just takes a little bit of practice. It's not that difficult to do, so. Yeah, see, you'll learn how to season it. You might want to season it with a little bit of bouillon, or depending on what kind of meat it is you cooked with it. Hey, sometimes I'll put chicken bouillon in any type of gravy. It don't matter what it is. Or I'll put a little beef bouillon in it to season it up. Yeah, you should be, Susan. You tried. And like I said, in time you'll get better because you'll learn how to season it and make it really good the way you like it. Bacon grease. Pizzas. That sounds good. It's been a while since I made a pizza. And I have got plenty of mozzarella cheese. I need to make a pizza. And I got sauce, so I need to make one. Diane Hinkle says, Miss Linda, well, I am closing down. Need to lock my phones. Have a good night. Well, good night to you too, Diana. You have a blessed night. Have a safe day tomorrow. Have a blessed day tomorrow, and we'll see you next time. Oh, you bought the stuff to make a French bread pizza. That's so good. And it's so easy to make because you don't have to make the crust. Your bread's the crust, and that's so easy. Just fill it full of your toppings and put it in the oven. Yep, that's absolutely true. You can make your own bouillon. And there's so many different spices that you can put in your gravy. It makes it taste so good. Oh, really? She poured bacon grease in an egg carton and froze it like ice cubes? I never would have thought of that. I probably would have poured it in the ice tray. But if you got an egg carton, why not? Like a boat. Yeah. Yeah, my way of cooking too. I like the easy, simple stuff. Make your own butter balls. I've never tried that. Thing with me is I don't have any more room to store anything. I've got to start cooking stuff and getting stuff out of the freezer because it's full. Smashed avocados for later. Huh. I never would have thought about freezing an avocado. I wonder how that would work. I'd be afraid it would turn black after a while, but maybe it wouldn't. And see, I don't like sage that good, so I don't usually use sage in anything. I don't know what it is about sage that I don't like. And my mom never used sage very much either. So I don't know if she was allergic to it or maybe we were both allergic to it or what. I don't even buy sage because I don't use it. Best you ever tasted was sage gravy. Never tried it. April grows sage. Okay. Oh, not if you use vacuum sealer. I never thought about that. So you could buy up a bunch of avocados when they had them on really good low prices and just vacuum seal them and freeze them. That'd be a great idea. Usually they stay pretty low, but the last one I bought, it was a good size avocado, but it was $1.99 for one avocado. But usually I pay about $1 for one because I usually get them at Walmart, and theirs are a little smaller. But I was in Brookshire's the other day and I bought one. But they're pretty, well, I'll show it to you. I got it up here. I can get it. It's a pretty good size avocado. And it was $1.99, and I need to eat it. Probably make me a salad tomorrow. Yeah, that's as good baseball size avocado or bigger. A little bit bigger than a baseball. So I'd have spent that much at Walmart and bought two little ones. So I figured, well, why not spend $1.99 and get one big one? That just means I'll put all of it in my salad and eat it. Brookshire's had them on sale last week for 57 cents. Wow, I didn't see that. Because I got mine just a few days ago, and they were $1.99. But it was kind of hard, so I was waiting for it to get ripe, but I don't want it to get mushy. But I think it's just right now to cut open and do something with. Yeah, avocados are really good for you. But see, I don't have anywhere to store them. I've got the vacuum sealer. I've got a freezer, but it's crammed full. I couldn't even put this avocado in there. I got to start taking stuff out and cooking it. I mean, if the store shut down tomorrow, I'd be set for a while. I mean, with just me eating it, I'd have food for quite a while. Yeah, I was trying to tell Susan how to make gravy when we were messaging one another, and I told her how to do it. I told her just, use her grease that's in the pan, not much. You don't want it all greasy, but you want enough grease in the pan to brown your flour that you've put in there. Brown your gravy, and then you can add your milk or your water. Like if you're going to make a sausage gravy, you'd probably want to put milk in it to put on biscuit, because that's the way they make that. Or if it's just gravy for turkey or other stuff, you use water, basically, and whatever seasonings you want. You put avocados and scrambled eggs. I hope I didn't miss something now. We'll have to come and eat with you. Yeah, I don't think they're going to go down either. You put avocado in Cobb salad. Oh, $10 a gallon for milk where April is. Yeah, I've had avocado toast before. It is real good. I love avocados in my green salad. Oh my God. And I love guacamole. But I like to take my green salad mix or my lettuce. I like to have a boiled egg cut up in there. I like to have at least a half of an avocado sliced up in there. Maybe some bacon bits or chicken pieces or something. I make a really good salad. Because when I eat a salad, that's my meal. I can't eat anything else. So I make my salad count. I put cheese. I think anybody would love my salad when I make it. The only thing I don't like is the tomatoes. If I buy a tomato, I don't want it in my salad because I don't like the taste of it. Now, if it's one from my garden, I'll put it in there. That's good. Because I don't care what anybody says. There is a difference between a homegrown tomato and one you buy at the store. Now, if you buy them at a farmer's market where they came right straight from somebody's garden, they're good. But the ones that come from the store, I think they grow in greenhouses, and they don't have that good taste to them. Yeah, I put everything in my salad that I can find. Because, I make a meal out of that. I don't eat anything but my big salad. Susan says I'm done eating and sharing with the babies. Yeah, my son didn't think, because I kept telling him. He said, well, I just buy mine at the store. They don't cost that much, and I don't have to grow them. I said, yeah, but you don't understand. I grow them because I like the taste of a fresh grown tomato. They taste different than store-bought tomatoes. And he bought a couple of plants that, with the big ones in the big pots, so he could just leave them on his patio and just pick his tomatoes. And he said, now I want you, when you start picking your tomatoes, I want you to remember how that store-bought tomato tastes. Or get you a store-bought one. Eat part of it. And then pick one off of your plant and eat it. And see if there's not a difference. He said, yeah, Mom, you're right. There is a big difference. I said, see, I told you. Susan, you could have added any type of grease. You could have added any type of grease, even some olive oil, into the grease that was there from the pork chops. A little bit. You don't want to overdo it, but you could add olive oil to the pork chop grease to make a good gravy. So you'll learn all that making gravy yourself. As you go, you'll learn it. Yeah, it's something that somehow the way they ripen them, they taste different. I mean, they're good tomatoes, I guess, but I never did like to eat them because they don't taste like my fresh homegrown tomatoes. They don't taste like the ones I grew up eating, so I don't like to eat them. I mean, I've been known to cut up a store-bought tomato in my salad, sit there and eat my salad, and I'll pick the tomatoes out and put them to the side, and I won't eat them. Now, does that make sense? So I just got a place where I don't buy them. Now, Romas I will eat quicker than any of the store-bought ones. The little Roma tomatoes, but even those don't have a good taste. I don't know if it's the acidy taste that the fresh ones have or what, but it just seems like the store-bought ones are kind of bland. Does that make sense? Well, good, Susan. Glad it worked out. And I've made gravy when I didn't even fry anything. I just put some olive oil in my pan, got it hot, threw in some flour, made my roux, fried my flour till it was kind of browned. And then I started adding either milk or water, whichever type of gravy I was going to make, and add seasonings to it. Put in a little bit of kitchen bouquet, a couple of drops. Makes a good gravy. I love tomatoes and salad and stuff, even sandwiches, and I know it would make my mom shocked and proud. LOL. Plastic tasting, yeah, something like that, I guess. Little buddy is wanting more treats. I know that's what he is because he's scratching at the door, and I gave him some treats a little while ago. He's probably cleaned his bowl out. Let me see what I can do for him. I unlock my door. My lock keeps ticking. Where's your bowl? Get out of the way. Get the bowl. I gotta open it. Here you go. See there? He's got me trained. He's got me trained to give him food, give him treats. He knows all he's got to do is come to the door and scratch on the door. And I know he either wants food or treats. I knew he wanted treats because that's what I gave him about an hour or so ago. Before I started my live, I had to give him some treats. He ate them all. He wanted more. Yeah, my hair is just, I don't know, it's getting out of hand. I need to do something with it. I don't know what. You're letting Si have the bone for a while. I won't leave it long though. Well, sometimes I've thought about cutting mine an inch long all over my head. That way I don't even have to worry about it. Get in the shower, wash my head, towel dry it, and forget about it. I mean, that's basically what I do with my hair, even with it long. It just hangs dry. But I can't really do anything with it unless I wear it up because it's not in layers anymore. I mean, it is kind of, but it's real long layers. It's raining where you're at, Betty? Well, thank goodness it finally stopped raining here. That storm passed without damage. I mean, I've already got 2 trees in my yard that need to be cut down now because they've fallen over. And I think it was because the ground got so wet from all the rain we've been having that, they couldn't stand up. Plus, they're dead and they probably rotted too. I let my bananas start to yellow, then I pick them. Well, I don't know if my little banana trees will survive long enough to ever produce bananas, but we'll see, I guess. I'm afraid they'll freeze this winter. I mean, I know they die back and they're supposed to come up from the ground the next year, but since they're in this great big pot, I don't know. I don't know if they'll survive or not. But I will find out, like I said. If they survive the summer heat, maybe they'll survive the winter cold. And Betty's planted potatoes today. Well, good for you, Betty. I got to go out there and dig mine up. I got to empty those totes that I got all those potatoes planted in because I need my totes for tomato plants. I mean, some of those potato vines are still really green. They're not dying off or anything. And some of them have died off to where you can't even see the plant anymore. I know, Connie. Wasn't it great? You didn't have to worry about hairdos any. You just get in the shower and dry off, and that's it. In fact, you didn't have hair on any part of your body. I know, I didn't. You didn't have to worry about armpit hair. I didn't have eyebrows either, and most of my eyebrows did not grow back. No facial hair whatsoever, no leg hair. Wash and go, yeah. They are good, April. I love them. I got one more bowl of them I'm going to eat after this live, and then that's all of them. That's what I've been eating ever since I cooked them yesterday. I ate them last night for dinner. I've eaten 2 bowls of them for today, and I got one more bowl left in the pot. Campari tomatoes. I don't know that we have that kind here, Darlene. Yeah, homegrown's always the best. And I don't know about my squash plants, my yellow squash. They started producing like crazy, and then it started raining so much. They just almost like they stopped producing for some reason. Now I got winter squash that's putting out squash. I've got the mashed potato squash that's putting out little balls like crazy. They almost look like a white pumpkin. I read on how to cook those because I've never grown them before. And they say you can cut them in half, get the seeds out, spray them with oil, and then turn them upside down on a cookie sheet and put aluminum foil down so they don't stick. And cook them just like you do any other hard squash. And then you can scoop the squash out after it's cooked. Put it in a bowl and mash it like you do mashed potatoes and put milk and butter in it, and they're real good that way. They say the directions said that tasted halfway between like a white potato and a sweet potato. So I thought that was kind of interesting. And your potatoes will look kind of yellow. It'll be odd, but I'm going to try them. I can't wait to try them. Mine are nowhere near ready to be picked, though. My radish has started coming up from the seeds, but I don't have, not radish, but carrots. But I don't have carrots yet. And my turnips are growing like crazy. Don't have turnips yet, though. You know, I planted those in that raised bed. And I have arugula in one of the little pots. And I've got purple bell pepper plants coming up in the other end in the little pot that I'm going to have to pull out of there as soon as they get big enough to transplant them. And I found a volunteer tomato plant that's coming up in the end of that raised bed. I'm going to leave it there because I don't know what type of tomato it is. I'll either leave it there and let it do what it's going to do, or I'll transplant it. I'll probably just leave it where it's at. I might have to stake it up, but I can put some of those tomato stakes to it. I'm not going to let my tomatoes get as tall as they got one year. I mean, my plants were like 12 foot tall. They went up and then they bent over and come all the way back down to the ground. I think I'm going to keep them pruned back, and maybe they'll bush out more instead of growing so tall. Because I don't know if that's good for the tomato plant to grow that tall. They were indeterminate, and they lasted all summer, where the other ones died off. I don't think you ever really completely stop worrying about your kids. No matter how old they get, they're still your kids, you know. Too much or not enough, yeah. I pulled the suckers off. Well, you know, I've heard people say that it's best to pull the suckers off. Other ones say no, it's better to leave them on. So I don't know which way to go. I've taken them off some plants. I've left them on some plants. And I really couldn't tell the difference. Yeah, that's the way I do, Cecilia. With my back and neck injury, I'm limited on a lot of stuff that I do. And that's one reason, not only the water rationing and the drought here in Texas and the rocks that I have to plant in, is one of the reasons I started planting in big pots and totes. Because it's easier for me to do it that way. Yes, healing prayers for Cecilia. Celia Stitch. I tried radishes out here one time. Some of them grew, some of them didn't. And I only got a handful of radishes out of the whole bunch for the whole summer. So I haven't planted any more. I mean, I've got radish seeds, but for some reason, I haven't planted any this summer. I guess I could still plant some, but. Susan said her computer locked up, so I changed into PJs. Well, you're entitled. And now your tummy isn't good. Oh. Well, my daughter is what, 56 now? It seemed like I should be that old, not the age I am, and my daughter be 56. Because her birthday was in January. You feel like throwing up or just losing? Well, I took a shower, but I'm still in my shorts and my top. Took a shower, did my hair, because I wanted to color it before this weekend, because I didn't want it to look so bad. I didn't want gray roots with darker hair on the edges. It looks terrible that way. Sometimes I wish I'd just let it go natural, but I don't know if I could handle letting it grow out. Because I'd always have dark ends until it grew a whole lot, you know. I know some people will let it grow out an inch or two, and then they just cut it off as short as they can and let it grow back out. I've thought of doing that, but I don't know if I could handle doing that or not, because I get tired of coloring my hair. Uh-oh, Susan. Sorry. Two, I have a boy and a girl. Margaret and Chad. You planted three different varieties. Well, I've got sweet gold tomatoes planted. I've got those red slicing tomatoes, that I planted from the slice of tomato. And now I got more tomato plants coming up from where I peeled those tomatoes the other night on that video. I just threw them in the pot inside the raspberry bush to help fertilize that. And I've got 5 or 6 tomato plants growing out of that pot right now. So I'm going to keep watching them. I need to get them out and transplant them and put them in their own pot. Grow me some tomatoes that way. I did my peppers that way. I got tons of pepper plants coming up. That's how I ended up with all the jalapeno and bell pepper plants I had all over my yard last year and the year before, was from planting seeds from the peppers I had. And I'm one, I don't like anything to go to waste. So every time I cut open a bell pepper or a sweet pepper, the banana peppers, I save the seed. I don't throw it away. If I throw it away, I put it in the compost and it comes up the next year. Or I go stick it in a bucket and it'll grow. The only thing I missed was I didn't keep any of my yellow banana peppers seed from last year. I ended up planting them all and then they didn't do good, so I didn't get peppers to save seed out of. Well, this is my first year for growing the purple tomatoes, and they've not, they're not producing any yet. They're just little bitty seedlings so far. They just came up. And it's the first year for the Ponderosa pink tomatoes. But, I will be saving seed from those. Or if I get one and it produces a tomato, you better believe I'm going to throw a slice in a pot and get me some more plants going. I got some started, Connie, the purple ones and the Ponderosa pink. And I've got purple bell pepper started. And I've never planted any of the 3 before. The purple tomatoes, the pink tomatoes, or the purple bell pepper. I think it's called Cherokee Purple or something like that. Don't remember the name. Or maybe it's the Cherokee Purple bell pepper I'm thinking of. I don't know. I get all the names mixed up. I got so many different ones out there. Connie says, oh, those purple tomatoes are so good. Well, I can't wait to try them. I hope my plants produce tomatoes, and I hope my purple bell pepper produces bell pepper, because I've never had a purple bell pepper either. I planted brandywines last year. They survived all summer. I had a volunteer, a couple of them, come up in the pot out there where they were planted, but I couldn't swear it was a brandywine or one of the others, because I had planted several different kinds of grape tomatoes, cherry tomatoes, all kind of little tomatoes out there, and they thrived all summer. And I know some of the little tomatoes dropped off of the plant into the pot, and I did get some volunteers, but I don't know which ones are which till they produce some, tomatoes. I love it when okra drop seeds, tomatoes drop seeds, peppers drop seeds, and then all of a sudden the next year when I'm planting everything, I get all these volunteer plants coming up. And then you play a guessing game of, okay, which one is this? The big ones get stung by something, huh? I don't know. The only thing I don't like about the big ones, they don't last long enough. You know, they'll grow, they'll produce big tomatoes, and then the plant will die pretty soon. It doesn't last like the indeterminate tomatoes do. But they usually give me pretty tomatoes when I get them. I never had a purple cauliflower. I don't think I've ever had a purple cauliflower either. In fact, I've never planted cauliflower at all. And I've got seed and I didn't think to plant any this year so far. And the head of lettuce that I got died. It didn't, the one I planted out there in the wishing well this year, I don't know what was wrong with it, but the roots on it didn't look real good. So it gave in. I'll have to buy another head of lettuce and eventually plant it. I got to get pots fixed first, my totes, get those potatoes out of them and get me more places to plant. Because I've got places for the pots that I already got. You know, those totes have a spot in the garden. I get more, I don't know where I'm going to put them. Well, I don't know. I grew up around farmland. You know, like my whole family had gardens. All the neighbors had gardens. I love growing stuff. But it's posed a challenge here in Texas to grow a garden, especially when I live on a rock mountain. I'd had beautiful cucumbers and zucchini and squash if I could have put some in the ground back where I'm planting. But I've got so much Bermuda grass growing in there. I've done everything to get rid of it. You cannot get rid of Bermuda grass. And it's right in my garden spot. So I'm planting in totes, buckets, and pots to keep it up off the ground so that Bermuda grass don't get in there. Because, you know, it'll strangle out your plants. Rosebush, it's not going to bother because the rosebush puts down roots so deep. Bermuda grass don't phase it at all. It probably just helps the ground stay cooler. Oh no. April says it's flooding. I hope not your yard. Y'all pray for April. She said she's flooding where she's at. Poor Oreo. I don't know where he goes. Oh, you better believe he goes somewhere safe. He's not. Animals are smart. They know where to go. Oh, so I misunderstood you, April. I thought you were being flooded where you're at. So I guess it's all around the area, other parts of Hawaii. Yeah, they're Cherokee purple, but it's the first time I've ever tried planting Cherokee purple tomatoes. So I'm anxious to see how they grow and produce tomatoes. Just the roads, okay. That's a good idea, April. If I was flooding around here, I'd be staying home too. I think April's near the ocean. because she said she had surfers that she sees every once in a while. Those Italian hunks and Speedos. She's got a beach or something close by. Yeah, I know that we've got bad flooding everywhere. Did you see oh, where was it? Can't remember the name of that place. It's a real expensive place to live. And it's like out on an island or something. Um it has like a Indian name from India or something. Oh, what is the name of that place? But I saw a video the other day where they were completely flooded. I mean, the streets everywhere was flooded. It ruined people's furniture because it was in their apartments, in their homes. Dubai, that's what I was trying to think of. Yeah, Dubai. So you saw that too, Craig. I says, wow, that just goes to show you it doesn't, nature don't care how much money you got. You're a flood. Money ain't going to help you. You'll still flood. It's desert there, yeah. And they're flooded. I was surprised when I saw it. Because I've watched videos about Dubai, being a lot of the people being so well off and all these fancy buildings and stuff like that. So then when I came across that video of it all flooded, I thought to myself, oh my God. I know, all this climate change, we got weird weather everywhere. It keeps on like it's going. I'm not going to have to worry about watering this summer. I mean, I may have to water stuff a little bit, maybe with compost tea for plant food, but if it keeps raining like it's been going, I'm not going to have to water much. But I don't think it will. We go through a rainy season and then it stops. And then we don't get any more till like the end of the summer. Yeah, it's not natural. It's all about the environment, climate change, and all that kind of weird stuff. Well, are y'all getting tired? That's how it is in Georgia too, Greg. They're seeding the clouds. Is that what you think it is? I don't know. Kyle was here a little earlier because I saw him. He was in chat. He he may have had to take care of his little boys. Yeah, he came in not too long after we got started. He was in chat for a little bit, but then I noticed I didn't see him anymore. So he's probably dealing with his little boys. I know, that's the reason I say we get our rain all at one time. And then when it stops, it turns into a drought. And then it stays that way till like fall. And then we get a little bit more rain. I know those few pieces were the biggest I've ever seen of hail falling here. And some of them were the size of an egg. First time I've ever seen hail that big. It wasn't a whole lot of it falling, but what did fall was big. It was the big marble size or it was egg size. I thought a couple of them were going to come through the metal roof of the patio when I was standing out there. It hit so hard. Yeah, we had tornado warnings. We've had tornado warnings here off and on all day. Even after the storm passed, at 6 o'clock, they issued more tornado warnings. Oh, it's okay. I've got steel roof up and, it's like the patio. So at the worst, it might have made a little dent in it, and that's about it. We do get a lot of hail here. But usually in the area where I'm at, the hail is not that big. I mean, I've seen it fall and so much, so fast, it covered the ground in a white sheet and it was nothing but hail. But it was little bitty pea-sized hail. It's the first time I've ever seen any the size of an egg, a chicken egg, and the size of one of those large marbles. That's big for right here where I'm at. Well, good for you, April. No leaks. Well, from what I could tell, it didn't damage anything. I was afraid because, I put that shade cloth up on the canopy over the garden. I was afraid there was so much of that big hail falling back there that it would rip it, put holes in it, and it may have. I don't know. I haven't been back there to check, but looking from the patio, it looks okay. Yeah, egg size will do damage. You stand out there and it hits you in the head, it could kill you. And it was hitting so hard, it bounced like 3 foot up off the ground when it hit the ground. It was hitting the edge of the patio, bouncing up and coming into the patio where I was standing and hitting my feet and my legs. That's one reason I said it's time for me to go in the house. And I was a good 8 to 10 feet away from the edge of the patio because I was on the step right where the door is, middle way of the patio. And of course the edge of the patio where it goes up on the roof, I just thank God that it didn't hit any of my windows and break any of my house windows out. I've been fortunate about that. As long as I've lived here, I've never had hail break my windows out. I hate to be driving a car and be caught on the highway with egg-sized hail falling. Come through your windshield. I can imagine there was a lot of people running for cover. And I bet there was a lot of motorists that was out on the highway that got some hail damage to their vehicles. Well, like I said, I'm sure that the couple across the street from me, I'm sure their car probably got a dent or two. Because it's not covered. It's just on a concrete driveway. And it's not covered with anything. She said they had been thinking about putting up a carport to kind of help protect the car. So I'm sure if they got dents in their car from the hail that fell, they probably will be putting one up. I don't believe it, y'all. We've got 39 watching and we got 39 thumbs up. Way to go. And it looks like well, that's the super chat I got earlier. I see that up on the screen. And you know what? I always forget to switch over to live chat instead of top chat. Well, unfortunately, there's nowhere to go here when it gets bad. Except go in the yard and dig you a hole. I mean, some of the big churches might offer shelter, but then what if a tornado hit the church? Take the church out too. Yeah, I see that. It flipped over to 41 thumbs up. That's pretty good. 41 watching and 41 thumbs up. We're even. Yoo-hoo! I have no idea. I shudder to even think about it, April. I mean, I remembered years ago when my granddaughter was little, I said, I hate to see what the world's going to be like when my granddaughter is an adult. The things that, she'll have to deal with in her adulthood. Well, that's good, T. Sharon. One of my uncles, every place he lived, he built storm shelters underground. And if he lived in Texas, I'll guarantee you, he would have a concrete shelter underground here if he lived here. Because he did not like storms or any of that stuff. You have to go to your daughter's house. Oh, okay. Yeah. All of this new inventions and changes for the better sometimes are not changes for the better. I mean, our neighborhood looks real good with these big, nice, brand new brick homes. Very little lawn to maintain because the lots are small. But then, like I said, all of the homes have to put their own septic system in. That's a lot of waste to go somewhere on a 50 by 105 foot lot. And you get homes on every one of them with septic systems. That's a lot of water that's got to go somewhere. And we're already having issues down below me with people's yards flooding, their driveways flooding. They're having to put in culverts because of the drainage from people's yards. And that doesn't have anything to do with the rain. It rains, it just gets worse. So they realized kind of their mistake by raising the limit of the size of the home for Comanche Harbor. They changed it back to 850 square feet, where they had changed it up to like 1,200 or so. Well, we had little smaller camper lots out here where people could come, put campers in, spend the weekend on their property. And they changed all that. They changed the rule where you forbid camping. No one can camp on any of the lots now. But now what are they going to do with the camper lots? You can't build a house on it. The lot's too small. So unless somebody bought up 5 or 6 camping lots and put it all together, they might have a lot big enough to build a house, but then they'd have to pay property dues on each individual house. Each individual lot. I told them at the meeting, I said, you know what? I said a lot of this stuff needs to be changed back the way it was. And I even posted on Facebook that there was reasons why it's so hard to change rules and regulations in an HOA. And that's one of the reasons. People come in to get on the board of directors and they pass votes, they change rules and regulations, and then we're stuck with a mess. There's nothing wrong with people coming in camping out on their lot. I had people that come and they camped right across the street from me years ago. That was before the privacy fence, before the house was built over here. They never bothered me. They only come maybe 2 or 3 times a year, and they spent the weekend on their property out here. Didn't bother anybody. Nothing wrong with it. I didn't mind. It's all about the dollar, Susan. And Connie, it's all about the dollar. These companies will keep polluting the place because they're making money. They don't stop to think about the consequences. Just like building these big homes for big families and having so much water runoff to get rid of. They weren't thinking about what's going to happen with all that water's got to go somewhere. We don't have city sewage. Yeah, that's true too, April. I've heard of cloud seeding. I knew they did that, but it's hard to believe they would seed the clouds for this much rain. I don't know. I mean, who am I to say? I don't know. Yeah, and see, these big homes are being built on 50 feet by 105 foot lot. And that septic system has to be put on that lot somewhere with that big house. The people across the street from them, they lucked out when they got that house because they're up here on the top of the hill. The water runs straight down. It doesn't run down the side of a mountain. It runs straight below them. And the way they put, because I watched them when they put the lines in for drainage, they just ran lines everywhere. And it, under the ground or under the dirt. And it keeps their grass watered. They were supposed to put in sprinklers, but they couldn't because the only place that they could turn the sprinklers was toward the street. And they couldn't spray the runoff from that septic on the street like that. So they had to run it underground like a drain field. And like I said, some of them, they built homes out here and they should have put culverts in the driveways and they didn't. And now they're having issues trying to get into their house because they drive up the driveway. It's all muddy. Their driveway's standing in water. There's nowhere for the water to go. They got a mess. See, they don't stop to think about consequences, y'all. And they're adults we're talking about. Yep. My mom always used to say the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. Because a lot of the rich people, all they care about is money. They don't care about who they hurt, what they do, as long as they feed their pockets. They don't think about consequences. They don't think about anything but today and the money I'm getting. And that's sad. Because, the whole world is full of people that have to deal and live with the results of what they do. Yeah, it is good for your plants, T. Sharon. Yeah, all the trash collects out in the ocean. You said the other day people managing our tax dollars in America can't go bankrupt. They can print new money. Yeah, that's nothing in the money insane line. Yeah, but you know, the more money they print like that, it brings the value of the dollar down. I also saw a video the other day that's got me concerned. They said it's estimated by the year 2033, we're not going to have a dollar bill anymore. It's going to go to electronic money. You're not going to be paid in a dollar. You can't spend a dollar. It's all going to be done electronically. And they said that, and the government, they say, is doing that to track everybody's money. So they make sure they tax every dollar being spent or going anywhere in this country. Yeah, they run out of money, so the government just prints more dollars. Well, that just devalues the dollar amount. I mean, you got to have something behind that dollar bill. Yeah, they don't go bankrupt, they just print more. But somewhere down the line, it's going to affect somebody that doesn't have the money. Yeah, well, I knew years ago, they said it was going to come to the fact that no one was going to have money. And you would get paid electronically. All of your money was going to be electronic. So you have to take a card or a chip that's implanted in your arm and scan it through the register to pay for anything. Yeah, pretty soon that it's going to be that way. And then they're going to control how much you spend and where you spend it. That's communism right there, y'all. Better dig up all our money and spend it. You're right, Shelley. I only have one bank account, and that's the bank account that I have my retirement check put into every month, and that's the account I pay my bills out of. So that's kind of already electronic money, you know, because a lot of it I don't ever see. I don't touch it. I just transfer it over to pay a bill or whatever. I mean, there's very little times that I actually get cash money. But yeah, Craig, when they start telling you how much you can spend and where you can spend it, that's communism. And pretty soon after they do all that, guess what? Your money's not even going to go electronically in your account. It's going to go in like a community account that the government regulates. And they'll do just that. They'll tell you what you can spend and how much you can spend and where you can spend it. It's scary. I tell you, it's scary. I don't know. Downright scary to me. I don't know about what y'all think about it. Exactly. They're giving it away to foreign countries. They're giving it to the illegals that come into the country. And I know why the government does a lot of that. It's all for the votes. They're going to be giving them voting cards, even though they're illegal aliens, and let them vote in these elections just because a certain person wants to be elected. I feel like that's why they're letting so many illegals come into the country. It's all for votes. Yep, that's right, Susan. I don't mind helping other people, but take care of your own first, you know? Yep, turn into drugs that they supply. Makes no sense to me, but it's downright communism. There's no other way to look at it. They said Hitler was bad. Well, our country's going that way. It's just inching that way. They're going slowly, so they think the people don't realize what they're doing. Yeah, and in New York City, they're putting in all these concrete benches and seats everywhere that you can't lay down on. And that's to prevent people from sleeping outside at night. I saw a video where they were doing a lot of that in the subways to keep people from going down in the subway where they're sheltered and sleep on the benches. A lot of the subways don't even have a bench anymore. I mean, I know homelessness is a problem, but the government needs to help homeless people here in our country if they're going to be so free with our money in other countries. Yeah, I don't know about all that. But I mean, we're almost doing it now. I mean, we use credit cards, we use gift cards, we use all kind of cards, and most of those are purchased or paid for. The premiums each month are paid for by another card. A lot of times there's no cash money involved. It's all done electronically. I mean, it does make it easier sometimes, to pay bills or get paid. You don't have to worry about cashing a check. But there's other problems too. Like April said, you got to worry about somebody getting into your account and draining it dry. Gone are the days of people burying money in tin cans. That used to be their bank. I know since everything's went on the computer, it's hooked into all over the country. The government knows exactly who's doing what, when they're doing it, and where they're going, and what they're spending, and everything else. We have no privacy anymore. Hmm. Oh, wow, Connie, that's unreal. Yeah, we can't live in fear. We just have to do the best we can. I mean, it's real convenient for me to sit here and pay my bills on the computer, on the internet. I don't deny that. It's a lot easier than getting out riding around to the different companies where you got to pay bills. I mean, I like doing that, but it gets scary too after a while. Yeah, I usually pay my bills on my computer. I don't do it on my phone. I've got apps on my phone where I can check my accounts, but I usually pay my bills when I'm sitting here on the computer. Oh, wow, Marilyn. Hi, I didn't see you pop in. She's getting ready to have surgery, too. Well, they did mine the old-fashioned way. They went in and scraped bone powder off of my bone, my hip bone, and they mixed it with some kind of like cement stuff or glue that made it, I don't know, the powder regrew the bone, if that makes sense. And it basically regrew a vertebra or disc that they put in my neck. They didn't put screws or bolts or anything like that in. They put my own bone back in my neck from my hip. Juvenile jail. I know, I hear about that kind of stuff, Connie, and that's downright scary. We don't really have that going on here where I'm at, thank God. Yeah. Oh, okay. The cool front's headed your way, Marilyn. Well, my computer shows it's 67 degrees here right now outside, so it's a cool evening. Seems nice because my AC unit hasn't been coming on. I think that's one reason why so many people are using this order online and go pick up, like from Walmart and different stores, so they don't have to go in the store. Because you hear so much mass shootings in Walmarts, in theaters, in schools, everywhere. You don't know where you're safe anymore. I mean, I still go in the store and get what I need most of the time, but sometimes I get to thinking, I say, well, you know what? I'd probably save money if I'd order it and just go pick it up, because when I go in the store, I see too much that I end up getting. And if I ordered it, I'd probably just order basic stuff that I needed. But I mean, I don't spend a lot anyway. Well, y'all, we've been on here almost, well, we have been on here 3 hours. We got to get off of here. I mean, I could stay on here all night, but I feel like I'm keeping y'all from something. Yeah, causing people anxiety. Yeah, and I tell you, the way they went into schools, nobody wants to be a teacher in a school anymore. Kids don't even want to be in school anymore. They'd rather be homeschooled and be safe. I mean, that's bad. You know, when kids don't want to go to school, they'd rather stay home, be homeschooled to be safe. That's what I say, Sheila. You got to put your faith somewhere. Why not put it in the good Lord above? Well, I don't order mine through the mail. I go right out to the Walgreens and pick my prescriptions up. I only get 2 prescriptions a month. One is for blood pressure pills and one is for my allergy nasal spray. That's all I get. I had a couple of friends of mine, they went to Mexico every year or twice a year, and they'd get enough um, of their medications, prescription medications, to bring back to last them for 6 months because they got it so much cheaper there. Evidently, they didn't have insurance to help pay for it. I don't know. Oh, and those insurances are going up like crazy. Oh my God. People are not going to be able to insure their homes, cars, or anything if it keeps on. Nobody will be able to drive anywhere if they can't have insurance. I saw Chris Como now takes. What? Oh my God, I've never heard of that. I saw Chris Como now takes the horse dewormer. Wow, things have changed. What would they do that for, April? Yeah, I think I missed something too, Susan. Why would anybody want to take a dewormer? A horse dewormer? I don't know. They kept that drug away from, so we want the vax. I don't understand because I don't know anything about those things. I guess I'm ignorant when it comes to horse dewormers and all this other stuff you're talking about. Hmm. I asked my doctor for natural ways to relieve pain. He told me live by a different protocol now that the only prescriptions because they make money on it. Yeah, that's true. Well, y'all, I love being in this chat. I'm telling you, we've been trucking on tonight. Ivermectin? Yeah, I don't even know what that is. Traditional medicine anymore when a doctor cared. Y'all are talking over my head now. How much per month to be retired? I don't understand that question either. Most of your meds and antibiotics and meds. Yeah, herbal medicines is the way. If you don't have to take a prescription, Doug, don't take it. I've wanted to stop my blood pressure pills forever, and my doctor says no. He said, I know your blood pressure's down, but if you quit taking it, you don't know what it might cause. Your blood pressure might go right back up again. Yeah, I know. We've been on here for over 3 hours. And I have to apologize for that because I did not want to keep y'all this long. I just got so wrapped up in the chat that you can purchase the... Huh. Susan said I had to take a nausea pill a bit ago. Well, I hope you're feeling better, Susan. Oh, wow. Y'all are talking over my head. I don't know about all this stuff. Hmm. Usually if something works, they stop giving it to you or they stop making it available to you. Sometimes I think they don't want to cure us. They want to make us worse so they can make more money. Well, y'all, I got to get off of here. I've enjoyed chatting with y'all tonight so much. Yeah, try natural stuff. That's the best way. And if you can't find natural stuff to work, then think about the prescriptions. But so does Ginger, but I hate it. You're way behind the convoy. I know I am. Because y'all were talking way over my head about some of this stuff I've never heard of before. Yeah, happy Mother's Day to all of you, especially the ones that don't make it Sunday. I'll say happy Mother's Day in advance. Yeah, I'm way behind the convoy. Yeah, I've got peppermint spread out around my garden and my yard. I got some on my patio. I got some 3 or 4 or 5 plants strung out through the garden. Peppermint and marigold plants. Marigolds are really good to plant around gardens and areas like that to help keep other certain bugs away. I've got a bunch of marigolds coming up. They're just little tiny plants so far, but they're growing, so I'm going to give them time. So y'all have a blessed night. Love each and every one of you, and I'll see you on my next live. Bye now.